Okay, let's dive right into this amazing secret mission that you have going on right inside your own house. Today, in this explainer, we are digging into a super powerful reading called The Sanctuary of the Home. Now, if you're around 10 years old, I really want you to pay close attention to this. You might think the adults do all the heavy lifting when it comes to spiritual things, right? But actually, according to this text, you have a critical, starring role in a massive daily operation. And the coolest part? It's happening right now, literally under your own roof. So I want you to genuinely imagine what a church is. When I say that word, what instantly pops into your head? Do you picture a massive building, maybe towering brick walls, super tall ceilings, long rows of those heavy wooden benches, or, colorful stained glass windows? It's really easy to just assume that a church is a specific building you go to once a week where everyone has to sit perfectly still and stay super quiet. But our source text completely challenges that whole idea and flips it totally upside down. It asks us to look way beyond the architecture and the big buildings to find out where the real action is actually happening. Think about a traditional church on one hand and your home on the other. Notice the difference? One is all about pews and quiet spaces, while the other is about your living room, sharing a loud family dinner, and actively helping out around the house. Our source tells this fascinating story from the Bible. Over in the book of Mark, chapter 5, verse 19. Jesus healed a man, and get this, instead of telling him to go build a huge building or travel across the world, Jesus told him something so simple, but really profound. He said, "Go home to thy friends, and tell them how great things the Lord hath done for thee." That instruction absolutely proves that the most important spiritual work doesn't start in some massive cathedral. It starts right there, on the rug in your living room, at the kitchen table, and in the hallways of your own house. Section 1. Church in your living room. Your family home isn't just a place where you sleep, eat snacks, and complain about homework. According to this text, it's actually a secret training ground. It's the very first circle of responsibility for everyone in your family. And there are no free passes here. No one gets an excuse to ignore the inner circle of the family just to go do big, flashy things out in the outside world. The living room is the main stage. In fact, our source material says some households have a little church in their home. This completely changes everything we usually think about grown-up jobs. It means that your parents' absolute most important duty isn't out there in the world at their jobs or even out in the community. Their primary duty is taking care of your family's spiritual welfare first. The text says parents are basically the leaders of this tiny living room church. The father acts as the priest of the household, and the mother acts as a home missionary. Their biggest, most serious responsibility is making sure that the souls inside their own house, meaning you, are cared for, protected, and guided. It all starts at home. Section 2. Teaming up with God. But here is exactly where you come in. While your parents have these massive duties like guiding, counseling, and advising, they absolutely cannot do it alone. The kids are the essential co-stars of this mission. You aren't just sitting there watching your parents do all the work. You're meant to be an active, incredibly important part of the team. Our source text clearly states that parents need to seek the cooperation of their children. Without you stepping up and playing your part, this little home church simply cannot function the way it's supposed to. And that brings us to a very big, very important word, laborer. Now, when you hear the word labor, you probably think of doing chores, taking out the trash, or just really boring hard work. Let's scratch that and redefine it right now. In this context, a laborer is a teammate, a builder, a co-worker with God. Our text says that by cooperating, children can become laborers together with God. You aren't just doing a chore, you are literally playing a vital position on God's own team. You are co-working with the creator of the universe, right there in your kitchen or your bedroom. So, the crucial point is that when you choose to cooperate using a few specific actions, you officially become that laborer together with God. Think about helping out without even being asked, or forgiving a sibling when they accidentally break your favorite toy or annoy you on purpose. Showing genuine love to your parents, just cooperating with the rhythm of the family. These might seem like tiny, everyday things, right? But they are incredibly powerful. When you choose to do these things, you aren't just being a good kid. You are actively building that little church in your home. You're flawlessly executing the game plan of the greatest team in existence. Section 3. The best sermon ever. Now, this amazing teamwork actually broadcasts a massive message to everyone around you. You know what a sermon is, right? It's usually a long speech given by a pastor. But the text argues that the absolute best, most effective sermon in the entire world doesn't use a microphone at all. It's the difference between using words, which is just talking about being good or telling people what they should do, and using actual actions. our source material points out that when a family has mutual love that binds their hearts together, and when there's real unity among the family members, it creates something spectacular. The text says this unity preaches the most effectual sermon that could be preached on practical godliness. By just being a kind, cooperative, and loving family, you're preaching a massive, silent sermon to everyone who sees you. Your actions are speaking so loudly and so beautifully that words aren't even necessary. Let's look at how this sequence actually builds into something even larger. Step 1. Your parents faithfully do their duty. They guide, correct, and advise. Step 2. You do your duty. You cooperate, you pitch in, and you show love. Step 3. Boom, a powerful, united team is built. Our text points out that when this happens, it literally multiplies the good you can do outside the home. By getting things right on the inside, in that inner circle, your family becomes an agency for doing good everywhere else. It perfectly prepares you and your parents to go out and labor in the wider church and community. The whole shebang cascades from that very first step of working together at home. Section 4. The Royal Heavenly Family. Okay, we are pivoting to the epic finale now. We've talked about the living room, the teamwork, and the silent sermon. But what is all this actually preparing you for? Like, why does it matter so much that you practice forgiveness with your siblings and cooperation with your parents? Well, it's because this secret training ground is preparing you for the ultimate promotion, the royal family above. The source material reveals that by practicing unity and love at home, you're actually in training to become children of the heavenly king. The exact words are, the members of the family become members of the royal family above. All those small, seemingly normal moments in your house are literally shaping your character so that you can seamlessly step right into the courts of a heavenly king. You are royalty in training. No way, right? But it's true. And this perfectly illustrates how your everyday choices right now are the exact training you need. It starts with just one day, those small daily acts of cooperation, like clearing the table or helping a brother or sister. Fast forward, and that turns into 1 year of completely binding your family together and to God. And that leads all the way to eternity, where you graduate into the royal family of heaven alongside the powerful, mighty angels of God. Every single choice to be a coworker with God today builds an unbroken bridge straight into eternity. So I want to leave you with this final, absolutely crucial question to think about. What kind of little church will you help build today? Remember, you aren't just a bystander in your house. You're a vital laborer, a teammate with God, and a future member of the royal family above. Your mission starts the second this explainer ends, right there in your own home. How are you going to show up for your team today? Think about it and then get to work building something amazing.